Yo, welcome back everyone, BeardMyth here, your virtual boxing coach. On this channel, we are all about providing a space for you to learn everything boxing, starting you from square one. Today, we're going to go over head movement, teaching you how to slip and roll. Before we get started, make sure you have watched my previous videos in order to perfect your fundamentals. A card will be popping up for that right now. And then subscribe if you want to continue to progress your boxing. Now let's go hop into the lesson. First up, we got slips. So what you want to imagine here is that you're bringing your shoulder down to your opposite knee. Right? So when I slip to my back foot, I'm bringing my left shoulder to my right knee. Getting that twist in the foot and make sure I'm nice and rotated. Keeping my balance. Boom. Just like that. Nice and smooth. The same applies for the other direction. If I want to slip to my left, again, imagining my right shoulder's coming to my left knee. Getting that rotation, getting my head off of the center line. It doesn't need to be a huge motion, right? Stay nice and loaded, coming down at that angle. Getting the twist in my feet so I can make sure I'm nice and balanced and loaded up to counter. The big thing is you want to make sure that you're keeping within your knees for your slips, right? That's too far. I don't want to be slipping outside of my knees. My body, my torso should not be slipping outside. And I should not be slipping from the waist. Right? Keep everything nice inside that box that you kind of create with your legs. So now when I go and counter, my legs are loaded like a spring and I can fire back with a lot of force. Really putting a lot of power behind. Again, like I said, not bending from the torso, getting the bend in the knees. Boom. Right there. Nice and sharp, staying inside, making sure I'm keeping my eyes on my opponent. Right? And like I said earlier, the slip doesn't need to be massive. You're just trying to avoid the punch, right? So if that's my center right there, I just need to avoid the punch. The reason for that is the smaller the slip is, the quicker I can counter right back after my opponent misses. All right, now let's go over rolls. Rolls and slips have fairly similar elements, but rolls are primarily used to avoid hooks. When I roll, I want to make that U shape, getting that nice bend in the knees, not bending from your waist, bending in the knees, keeping your posture upright. And as you can see, the first thing I'm doing when I roll is I'm dropping. That's the first thing you want to do, getting yourself out of the way of the hook. And again, when I do roll, I'm keeping my body within my knees, right? Not overextending. Because one, it'll put you off balance. And two, it'll be much harder to counter since one, you're facing the wrong direction. And two, you'll be off balance. Okay, so now let's go ahead and show you guys how to roll and move at the same time. So you can kind of close the distance this way. So when I'm rolling towards my lead leg, in this case my left foot, I'm taking that step as I roll. As I start that drop, I'm taking that step. And when I'm going right, same thing. I'm taking that step outside. Most of your movement forward is going to be coming when you roll left and not too much when you roll right. Now to go backwards, right? Same thing. When I roll, I'm just shifting my feet as I roll. Making sure you land on the balls of your feet. Let's go ahead and take this over to the slip rope and I'll show you there. All right, guys, so this is the slip rope. Essentially, you can use anything that's at head level. I actually used old wraps before when I didn't have a rope. So rolling is the exact same. Now you just have something to get under. All right, shifting my weight left and right as I move forward, keeping my posture and my eyes forward, always looking for what my opponent's going to be throwing next. And I want to keep my weight on the balls of my feet, right? Always in boxing, always keep the weight on your balls of your feet. Again, keeping that U, hands are nice up, and I'm shifting forward. As you can see, I'm taking small movements. You don't want to be taking big movements. It'll leave you exposed. Now let's go ahead and show you going backwards. Again, like we saw in the ring. Shifting from one foot to the other as I roll. Right, and as you get comfortable, you can speed it up. Make sure you start slow at first, because going backward is definitely going to feel awkward. Take your time with it. Make sure you're doing it right. All right, when you're going backwards, you want to make sure you're not on your heels. Like I said, always on the balls of your feet. You go on your heels, then you got nowhere to go if you do get hit. All right, and then you want to make sure you're as tight to the rope as possible so you can counter quick, right? Tight to the rope, it means tight to the punch, which means I'm closer for the counter. Right? And then as you start to get a little more fancy, you can pivot off of it, as you can see here. All right, let's go show you guys these techniques with a partner. All right, this is my friend Adrian. He's going to be helping me out today. Demonstrate the slips and the rolls with an actual punch. So as you can see, practicing all of our good techniques, and here I'm just trying to get barely out of the way of the punch. And with slips, I can use this also as a way to get inside, to kind of close the distance a little bit, taking that step forward and bringing my rear foot with me at least a little bit. Right, that's key. If I don't bring my rear foot, I'm going to be really overextended. That has to come with me. Because if I don't, my balance will be off. And we definitely do not want that ever. Right, again, I'm coming down at that angle. Boom. Boom. Immediately ready to counter. And you can see how much is open, especially on his body. So if I did want to throw, I could throw. All right, now we're going to go ahead and show you hooks. So avoiding the hooks, which is your roll, right? And taking that step with it. If I wanted to shift my positioning on where my opponent is. Again, I'm making sure that my hands are nice and tight up right by my guard. And I'm still keeping that nice bend. And right there, I'm laughing a little bit because I wasn't expecting one of the hooks. So now if I really want to step off the center line and be able to get a great angle, I want to take a nice big step. And when I'm stepping to my left, I actually like to get deep. So I take a step forward as well as to the side. This leaves a lot open for me to be able to hit, especially if I time it right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and uppercut that notification bell to stay up to date. Let me know in the comments what boxer you think has the best head movement. Also, I live stream on Twitch if you ever want to ask me questions. A link will be in the description down below. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the ring.